to Dave Aranda and Baylor University, and Kyron on his way to a workout joins us on SicEm365 Radio. So I don't want to start with the championship game, if you don't mind. I want to start with the day after you lost the year before, and I heard you and your father and family did not take the bus home, that you were in a car all the way back towards the Gulf Coast. What was that conversation between you and your father like that day?
That day, it was just like, I know what it takes to go win it, and I got to take them back and go win it next year.
How much did you think about it each and every step of the way, that feeling as you worked out more and more and more?
After that, I really thought about it almost every day until we started the season. And when the season started, I knew what I had to do. I knew what the team had to do. I knew I had to be a different type of leader this year and had to go get the job done.
Kyron, what caused you to become a quarterback? What was it about that position? How did your journey kind of start in football and lead you to this spot where you are right now?
In Little League, I never played quarterback. I was always a running back where I played defense. But quarterback is all my dad trained me for. He would just take me outside, go throw the ball, always tell me what to do with the ball, and always have me throwing. So when I got to junior high, 7th grade, I was a quarterback, and I just went on from there.
How come you couldn't sleep last night?
Oh, I don't even know. I think I was just too excited. That whole day, I was excited.
Now, was it that, or because you ate your sister's brownies? Is that all the chocolate inside those brownies?
Oh, yeah, that had a part, too.
Kyron's learning real quickly. David Smoke does his homework before he interviews people.
Yeah, no, and your father, Kevin, who's fantastic, gave me a lot of background on you, and it's great to have you on, Kyron. I know Baylor fans are excited to hear from you as well. We appreciate you being a part of the show. So, in the end, you committed to Baylor and Dave Aranda, but I know it's more than football. What is it that is your passion when it comes to tennis shoes?
Just the way, I feel like shoes is what defines you. When I go out, I always make sure I look my best, and then I always start my outfit on with the shoes. So whatever shoes I go on, I base the outfit on with that.
There are a lot of schools with business degrees. Can you try to explain why Baylor's options were the best options for you?
Because Baylor Baylor had entrepreneurship and apparel design. I'm probably going to try to take both, major one, and then take a minor one.
Very nice.
So, Kyron, you're stepping into a quarterback room that's got some guys like Jacob Zeno and Gary Bohannon in front of you, and, of course, Charlie Brewer. Was that part of it? You wanted to go somewhere where you could be with some good competition and an offense that's on the rise with Larry Fedora and George Munoz?
Yeah, I feel like the competition there would be really good for me. And then when Larry Fedora talked to me, he basically run the offense I run at Saddle Creek. So that's good for me because I'm used to it. And then he's one of the dudes that made up the spread offense and first started it. So he already knows what defense to run it on, and he knows how to perfect it.
What has your relationship been like with the coaches? How have you enjoyed getting to know everybody on staff and just the various conversations that you had? Obviously, you feel good enough to want to play for them for the next few years, but just how did that relationship sort of develop for you?
Ever since they offered me, they've been on me heavily. It's mainly Coach Juice and Coach Bryant who I was talking to the most. And then when I knew I was going to go there, I started talking to Fedora more. Or when I started leaning on to them, I started talking to Coach Fedora more, and then it just grew from there.
So you knew Coach Juice Johnson at Houston, right? And you knew him there.
Yes, sir.
And
when I went on my visit to U of H, he was there.
Then you also, Coach Powledge knows your dad. Is that correct?
Yeah, Coach Powledge been trying to recruit me since I was in 8th grade.
And he was at UL Monroe. So it's amazing how this spider web of connections can play a role in some particular way. I did see something where Coach Fedora said something about he would never offer somebody until he actually got to see them. What was that conversation
what
like?
he told me.
What did that mean to you that he changed his philosophy for Kyron Drones?
It had me feel like that I was really his dude for him to change his way of recruiting for me. Because for him to say he never offered without seeing somebody, I just had my QB coach and me send him videos until he felt like he wanted to pull the trigger, and he did, and I really appreciate it.
That's awesome.
Kyron Drones of Shadow Creek High School, state championship, the junior MVP of the game this December with us on SicEm365 Radio.
Kyron, what are you working on right now, just as far as your game goes? I know it's a weird time for everybody, but what are some of the goals that you have in mind during this stretch as you prepare for what you hope is going to be a full senior season?
I'm mainly trying to get faster and then work on my accuracy more.
And how do you go about doing that? Are you doing workouts with your dad, or how does that kind of work?
I have a speed coach who I see almost every day, and then my quarterback coach, I see him 3 days a week.
Okay.
And then sometimes I work out by myself.
All right, so you're playing Foster last year, early in the year. Great team as well, and you guys beat them. But you're down 24-7 in the playoffs, halftime. Everybody's like, what's going on? What did your father, who's a defensive line coach, say to you at halftime?
All he said was, you were built for this, you made for this, go be great, and go lead us in the victory. And then I took that, and then I thought about it, and I was like, yeah, I'm messing up in the first half. Most quarterbacks, if they had the first half that I had, they would have gave up, or they would have been down on themselves, but I know I couldn't do that because the team was depending on me. So I knew what I had to do, and then came out in the second half and just put on the show.
Who was the first throw you made to, I think, in the second half? A guy that Baylor fans are going to get to know and already do know a little bit. Who was that?
That was Seth Jones.
Seth Jones, part of the 2020 class who caught a 40-yard play that just kind of kick-started the second half, and here comes Shadow Creek on their way to winning the game and also eventually a state championship. Craig?
No, I was just going to say that was a fun game, and Seth Jones, a heck of a player, but I know Baylor fans are really excited about Kyron and his commitment and fired up. And Kyron, just you're growing up, did you watch anything in particular? Did you watch much Baylor? If you did, what do you kind of remember from that?
Growing up, I was like a huge Baylor fan, especially when RG3 was there. That's all I watched.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, his whole time at Baylor, that's the only team I watched.
When did you actually call Coach Aranda and commit to him?
We had a Zoom meeting Tuesday at 1. It was my virtual tour since I couldn't go up there.
Right.
And then after the tour was over, I told him that I was committing.
But you didn't announce it until, yesterday morning? How hard was that to keep it quiet?
It was really hard because I told Coach Fedora Monday night after I talked to my people. I told Coach Fedora and Coach Juice, and then I was waiting to tell Coach Aranda after the meeting, and then I had to hold it in for another day.
Yeah, it's not easy to do.
That's why you didn't sleep. You were adrenaline rush, and then probably you slept like a baby once you finally fell asleep. All right, one more story. I want to compare it. I'm a almost 61-year-old, so you're not going to make sense to this, but I know you had to go through a very difficult transfer, not because of anything other than the fact that you went from one school to another. Your father gets the job at Shadow Creek, and so you're at another school and trying to get used to new people. Some of those guys you knew in junior high. How difficult was that transition and getting to know? Because I'm a military brat, so is Paul. We moved all the time, and it was always very difficult to kind of fit in initially.
Yeah, it was very difficult because, at first, I'm not a dude that talks a lot. So basically, if I'm not comfortable, I really don't talk. So it took me a couple of weeks to get to know people. And get to know a lot of people. That I was happy with my kids, and I'm glad.
Kyron, thank you.